Thank you for listening to The Real Deal with Damian Adams. This is Real Sports Talk for the Real Sports Fan, and I definitely appreciate all you Real Sports fans who are listening right now. If you're a team iPhone, please go to your iTunes store, search The Real Deal with Damian Adams, and hit that subscribe button for me. And also give us that 5-star rating at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That 5-star rating, that'll definitely be appreciated. If you're a team Android, you go to Podomatic.com. That's PODOMATIC.com, and subscribe to the podcast on there. You can also subscribe to the podcast on the Castbox app on any device at any time. You also can listen to us on Thursdays on blogtalkradio.com/radioafs. That's blogtalkradio.com/radioafs. I am very excited. We have a special guest on the phone lines with us today. We have Mr. Raphael Haynes, a.k.a. Mr. Controversy, a.k.a. Mr. Did You Miss Me? On the line. How you doing today, man?
What's going on, Damian? Did you miss me?
I'm glad to have you on the show, man. Now,
yeah, I'm glad to be on, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's no problem at all. No problem at all. Now, Raphael is the founder, owner, or writer, editor, radio host for the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, which is up and coming. Definitely going to be one of the biggest things out there right now. And what I like to do first on the podcast, I like to get to know our guests a little bit, and so our audience can get to know and love our guests the way I do. So can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself, Raphael?
Sure, no problem. Yes, I am Raphael Haynes, a.k.a. Mr. Controversy. And yes, as he said, all of those superlatives, owner, writer, editor, it's a lot, man. When I think about it, radio personality, everything for the 3-Point Conversion. And first off, I'm just that fan, that avid fan, that passionate fan who's passionate about every sport that I like. I'm pretty much into all sports. Will stick my mind, as you see, with the controversy. And people look at the name Mr. Controversy, and sometimes they get it twisted. They think, oh, he's always trying to be controversial. Not necessarily. It's just the fact that I don't go with the I guess you want to say, the opinion that everyone else will go with. You know, I'm going to tell the truth about sports. I will say a lot of things that most people won't say, that want to say. So that's why I get the name Controversy. It was given to me. It wasn't made up. So that's how I got the name. But I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and when I started the company, you know, the reason I started the company is because first of all, I look at the media aspect of sports. Now, when you think about the media aspect of sports, you got a lot of people in the media circuit that do certain things just for notoriety versus asking the right questions or writing the correct article. You know, they want to get the notoriety. They want to be the first to talk about it. You know, they want to stir up controversy just so their name could get out there. That's the wrong way of going about journalism. So I decided, well, I'm going to do it the right way and make sure we talk about the things that fans want to talk about. That's why our slogan is, where fans' opinions matter. So it's all about the fans. We're fans, we're no experts. So I'm a Chicago Bears fan, Chicago Bulls fan, Chicago everything fan. You know, and I mean that's it, man. I just, like I said, I'm that sports fan that you see on TV where if their team has a bad game or a bad call, basically throwing a tantrum. I'm like that over the top fan, you know. Can't sit down when the Bears are playing. I gotta stay up the whole game. I don't eat. So I'm just that type of fan, and like I said, besides my sports team, I just love sports in general. And I'm basically a historian. I love history, so that's Mr. Controversy in a nutshell.
Okay. Now, I like to touch on what you said about how a lot of times you'll see journalism being done the wrong way. And a lot of times you'll see people trying to get the hot take. So How would you describe your style? Because with me, I like to say I do the real take. Would you say you do kind of the same thing? You like to keep it as just a real take and not the hot take?
Exactly, yes. So, and taking, as you say, the real take is all about just talking about, I mean, the sport itself. If I'm talking about a particular subject, it's going to be all facts. It's not going to be necessarily opinionated as far as if the story's about facts. Like, I write stories where, yes, I'm going to tell my side or tell my opinion. Nothing wrong with that. But then, as far as when you're trying to, as journalists, certain times when you have to report stories. If I'm reporting stories, then I'm going to put in what I think the mass like. That's not the correct way. Even though there's journalism, and just to give a little intake on journalism, that's the way it's taught in school. But because of what I've learned in school, and I said, no, this is not right. Always reporting the wow factor more than the story that probably matters most. Well, I tend to go the opposite of that. And I'm going to report the story that matters most more than the wow factor. I'm going to respect the sport. My motto is, I would rather respect the sport than sell out for the sport and, to gain fame or fortune. I can't do that. I'm not, if I'm doing that, I'm not being real with myself. And that's one thing about, me, I pride myself in is being real with myself. So therefore, I have to be true to me and true to the sport because I'm loyal to the sport. So that's the way I look at it.
Okay, I definitely hear that and respect that. You are an excellent writer, and you have a wonderful series on the 3pointconversion.com called The Next Level. Can you tell people a little bit about that?
Yeah, so a few years back, well, actually last year, the 3-Point Conversion got invited to a particular bowl game called the Globe Bowl. It's a small bowl game for Division III players. I shouldn't say small, but it's a bowl game for Division III players, and the whole purpose is to give them looks to, CFL scouts, arena scouts, and we were there to cover it. But I found a lot of people wondering, never heard of the Globe Bowl. And matter of fact, some of these kids I've never heard of because of Division III. Well, I thought to myself, these are some talented kids, and they probably have some great stories. So I wrote a feature article on one of the players, and really didn't expect it for it to, be that big. Just wanted to give them some exposure. And, I mean, he got a lot of readers. It was more than both of us expected. But the key is it told his story.